Welcome back to this Road to Recovery series on the patellar tendon injury that I suffered. I said I would give everybody real-time updates on my recovery, on my progress. Again, in the hope that if you're going through this, going through something similar, that somebody gets some benefit from this, right? So today is basically day 9 post-surgery and day 13 post-injury. Again, I was lucky. I was able to have surgery 4 days after the injury, so the turnaround was pretty quick. Today was a monumental day. I can't show it to you now, but for the first time in essentially 2 weeks, I was able to contract the quadricep and see it turn into an actual raise of the lower leg, right? So it wasn't a big movement. With the patellar tendon injury, what happens is the knee extension mechanism is just gone altogether, right? The tendon that allows the quad to pull on the lower leg just isn't there anymore, so you can't extend the lower leg. So today was the first time that I was actually able to get some movement for the past essentially 2 weeks. The brain tries to do it. You see the quad fire, but there's no movement in the lower leg. So thankfully today that happened. The one thing, it was painful, and I think the biggest risk that a lot of people run into as soon as they see any type of progress is to go a little bit too hard. And I know I'm definitely guilty of that. I was in the gym trying to do pull-ups and dips essentially 3 days after surgery. I was able to do it, but the next day that leg does not feel good, right? I would still take that trade-off over complete inactivity. That being said, there's a very fine line between getting yourself moving and overdoing it and setting yourself backwards. So just be careful of that is what I would say, right? What you see on my leg right now, let me scoot over. Forgive me if you don't see my face. What you see on my leg right now is an EMS machine, right? So in the absence of being able to flex and extend and fire that quad, the orthopedic surgeons, they basically pre-warn you to expect a pretty rapid atrophy of that quad muscle, right? So in the absence of that, one of the things you can do as soon as it's safe, as soon as it's clear, is to start to apply some electromagnetic stimulation. Get some movement in that leg. This is supposed to mimic muscular contractions in the absence of being able to use that leg, being able to squat, being able to do leg extensions. Something is better than nothing, right? So yeah, that was essentially the major event that happened today. I was really, really happy to see that. The goal is every day I can come back to you guys, or every few days come back to you guys, report some sort of a win, and hopefully this encourages somebody on a similar journey or on your own journey altogether. So if you are going through this, knee surgery, any type of surgery, any type of kind of devastating injury, it does get better. A lot of the challenge is going to be emotional and mental as much as it is physical. So hang in there, keep your head up, keep your spirits up. You will get there, right? That's my report for today. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, support. I want to know that this is helping somebody. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon.